My name is Alfie. I'm from Venice.
Now that you're older and you've been through all of these experiences, what do you look forward to? What gets you going now? What gets you excited in life now? You know, but back in the day, of course, it's probably just the thrill of being young, living for the moment and doing what you wanted to do. What is it now?
You know what? I get a kick out of my grandkids whenever I get a chance to spend time with them. And when I go to my parents' house and see them greet me with a smile, that shit is cool enough for me.
Yeah,
Like, or when I come around, certain events and people see me, they be like, "Oh man, I like what you put on Facebook, man. You inspire me, man. I had a down day, that type of shit. It helps me stay
yeah,
grounded. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? To know that because there's all ways that you can give back to people, and you inspire people that you don't even know watching you,
yeah.
and it fucks me up sometimes because I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna say I ran into Elmo one day, Uncle Elmo, and he said, "Man, I seen your video on the YouTube thing." Elmo older. He said, "I said, how'd you think about it, Elmo?" I did good. He said, "It was a whole lot of cussing." So I try to be careful of how I carry myself. You know what I mean? I try to stay positive at all times, but I'm human. I have
Yeah.
bad days. I lash out at people sometimes too, but that's the only thing that's what keep me going, man. Just the people that I disappointed so much to see them be happy now. That's enough for me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
my kids and all that. Like they cool now.
yeah,
They like to hang out and all that type of shit before. But now before it's like, "Hey, come daddy." You know what I mean? So it's different. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's different. When you find out, man, what's really important in life, a lot of that other stuff is don't mean nothing to you.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I wasted a lot of time with a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Do you think you could have cherished your family in the moments that you have with your family the way you do if you never would have went to prison? Do you think you still would have been able to cherish them like that?
I think I always loved my family. I always had a good relationship with my family, even when I was just didn't want to listen to them. Like
Yeah.
I stay, even when I was out in the streets, I would still go slide by and see my grandmama and them because my grandmother's house was the house everybody went to. She stayed in Santa Monica. Now
Okay.
my mom's from Santa Monica, my pops from Venice. So I would go by there, all my cousins would be over there, like, and I go through and everybody, you know what I mean, and see everybody for a little while, would drop my little brother off some money and shit like that. So I stayed in contact with them, but by me being so heavy off in the streets, I never really wanted just to be with my family because that was one of my biggest fears for somebody to get off on me when I'm with my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like my little brother, instead of him taking me to the mall, I would just go get my mama some money for him. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna be in the mall. So dudes run up with my little brother. Then I got to go do a whole bunch of other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept a connection with him. You know what I mean? I kept a connection. Even in the streets when I was homeless, I kept a phone, and stuff like that. But just being around him all the time, nah, it wasn't like that.
What is age difference between you and your brother?
I'm 9 years older than him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's a
I
little
kind of
bro.
yeah, my little brother. I remember when he was first born. He first came home, and I took care of him. Like I learned a lot of stuff at that young age. I used to make his bottles now because mom's dad went back to work. You know what I mean? I had to feed him and all, change the diapers and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you influence him growing up?
I told him never get to the streets. Told him never. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Whatever I got to do, you gonna make it. You gonna be the one make it out of this.
Yeah.
And he was a basketball player. He was hell of a good too. But he just they worked him. Like,
Is that where Tay got it from?
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. Yeah, they worked him. You know what I mean? My little brother's supposed to be in the NBA, but he just like I talked to him about it. He said, "Man, God has other plans for him.
Yeah.
He never been in the streets. You know what I mean? Not that I know of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he graduated from college and all that. But I just always tell him, man, we ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Man, we ain't. When I came home, they had. I was gone for some years, and I didn't know all the little crews and shit they had. I thought they was gangs, so I got him about that. You getting out that crew? That shit is gang. That's a gang. I don't care what you say. Like, you know what I mean, he listened to me, respected me, and he got out. He left. He listened to everything I said because I told him one thing I don't ever want to do is have to come visit you like you can't visit me. I never thought the shit can happen to me, but it happened. Like, you know what I mean?
Did you go to Samo in the later 80s, mid
Yeah,
80s?
I went in 80, 85, 87. Like when I did go to school.
Did you drop out? Did you graduate?
Yeah, I dropped out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you never completed
No.
your education?
No,
Did you get your GED in?
I got my GED in prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One thing about school because when I was growing up, after my real father got killed, my mom she moved out to Santa Monica with my grandma. We moved off to Santa Clara, and she ended up hooking up with my pops that raised me. You know what I mean? And I don't know what he was doing, but they had us, me and my sister, rest in peace. They had us in private school. So I went to private school from I went to Head Start on Broadway. It used to be a Head Start on Broadway back in the day, 73, 74. I went there, and then I went to kindergarten and International Children's School. It was in West LA. I went there all the way to the fourth grade. Fifth grade, I went to Will Rogers. Sixth grade, I went to Crescent Heights. So they always kept us in schools where education was important. You know what I mean? I always excelled in school. When I got to high school, junior high and all that, and start really getting in these streets, my grades was slack off in here. But I never was a dummy. You know what I mean? I just acted dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then once I got to high school, and like I say, I just quit. I didn't, you know, there was no other reason for me to quit besides I was having too much money.
Yeah. Did you go to school with Charlie Sheen then? Was he at Selma with the same?
He was older than me. He went to school with my cousin and my cousin Junior and them.
Okay.
Okay. Charlie like damn near 60, I think.
Okay.
I ain't that old.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm 51.
I just know y'all both alumni.
Yeah. He went there. Who was an alumni? My generation. Glenn Milburn was running back. Played for the Denver Broncos.
Damn, from Samuel High, huh?
Yeah, Samurai. Somebody else went there. There was an actor. I can't think of who it was right now, but there's a couple of actors. A lot of actors went there, man.
Yeah.
A lot of them dudes ended up in the theater and all that.
Yeah.
I just never got off into that shit.
Yeah. It's interesting too because I think that, and correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think that the way that you speak and storytell, I feel like you could have been into acting or theater or Broadway.
I'm trying to get into it now. You know, somebody come get me. You know what I mean? But I just tell the stories of my life
all the time. All the stays that you've done in prison. Do you think that's made you? That's ended up making you closer to the family that you do have, that you're with?
Yeah. I spent a lot of time away from them, you know, and one thing about being in the streets, and your people, they have to get a picture painted of you by other folks because now you always having to defend the lies and the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people can tell people anything. They don't see you, so they don't know what's going on. So they had my mom thinking I was just the craziest monster out here. Like, nah, I ain't doing no more than the rest of these people out here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I've been in jail for a couple of shootings, but you know, I can't tell you what everybody else is doing, but don't put it all on me. Like, you know what I mean? And I just had to tell her, like, I didn't raise you like that.
Yeah.
I know you didn't, but shit, I'm in the jungle now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna be the sheep.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be the impala. I'm gonna be the cheetah. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, it just, you know, when you come out here and you get into these streets, you form yourself into what's going on. You pick a side of whether you're gonna survive out here, or you're gonna be a pushover out here. And what I notice out here in the streets, man, those that are scary and pushovers, they life is horrible. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't about to live like that.
Yeah.
I ain't no sir. You know, we going in my pockets and taking my stuff and we ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that.
Yeah. What was the best lesson you've learned from the streets? The most valuable lesson that you learned from the streets?
Don't take no minutes for granted.
Don't take no minutes for granted.
Don't take no minutes, no days, no minutes. Don't take no minutes for granted. It's time I've been sitting there talking to somebody like this right here and walked off and left and then got knocked down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the most valuable lessons. And you keep the people that's really sincerely and for you close to you. You know, you don't try to, you know, everybody in life, you're going to have issues and arguments with whoever. Yeah. But if you got somebody that's real solid with you, get past that.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Because solid people are hard to come by, man.
Yeah.
They real hard to come by. Like my
dude. When did you learn that?
Huh?
When did you learn that? That solid people are hard to come by.
Doing time and, you know, like being out there on the streets with people and breaking bread with them. You get to jail and ask, man, send me $50. Knowing you finna go spend that on weed. Damn, my mom said she came out to get the money, bro. You wasn't there. Oh, I didn't hear. I must have been in the shower. Okay, so I see what you about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so a lot of that time you sit up in them stoops, man, you see who your real friends is. Yeah. Like, because you know, you ask people for something that you know are able to send it to you. So if they don't send it to you, that means they don't want to. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you stay away from the type of people. Yeah. You know?
How many years altogether do you think you've done in prison?
Shit, about 20, close to 20.
20 years?
Through jail system, period, county jail, juvenile, all that shit, probably about 20 years.
Where would you be today? What would your life be like if you never went to prison?
Shit. If I never went to prison, I never got addicted to nothing like that, I'd probably be a trillionaire.
In Dubai or something.
Yeah, Dubai somewhere. Because I had big plans, big dreams. They got offset. But I don't really know what my life would be. I know I would probably be somewhere, settled down somewhere. You know what I mean? Regardless if I was in the streets, I'd probably have a wife and chilling somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. A nice little house or something, like, you know, cool little modest house or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You think you would have been just as accepted in the Venice community if you never would have been from the streets?
Because I was always, you know, like I say, even when I moved to Santa Monica, I was still out there every day. Like I was always here. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I grew up here, so I would have still been accepted. Sometimes people give you a more voice because you're from the set part of the hood. Like, you know what I mean? As opposed to just being from the hood. Yeah. But I think I still would have had. I still think I still would have had a voice. You know, because all my folks was the heavy hitters. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
Any last words you like to tell the camera?
Look here, man. I want to tell you youngsters out there, live your life, because your life is your life. Don't listen to nobody that's going to tell you to do something that they wouldn't do, and make your mama proud, man. If you like this, subscribe to GV Local.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, appreciate you. Because they ain't gonna let us live.